So hello again from a long time not being around. We've just finished moving from our villa into the Majlis, which actually took us a month to do because we had to pack everything up properly, and we actually do have a lot of stuff. But that is done now.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of John's rubbish.
We've got a lot of stuff.
Anyway, so we're back into the land of the living, and life carries on again. Do you want to carry on?
Do I?
Yeah, keep going.
About what? This video is about?
This video is about the cupboards.
The cupboards, okay. So these cupboards behind us, you can see this one is closed, open, closing it, open. I'm not sure if you can see there. It has a gas strut in it. This one doesn't have a latch yet because I haven't had a chance to put them in. But if we look at the cupboard, at the door rather, the cupboards you've seen me make and all how the profile and that fits together. The door profile is this profile. It's an odd one. We're using aluminium here because it's light. It's reasonably cheap here in the Emirates anyway, and it's strong. So and pretty easy to work with if you've got the right tools. In putting the door together, the profile, we have connectors which are plastic connectors which go in there. Unfortunately, this piece of profile is cut at the wrong angle. It should be cut 45 this way. So this is the remaining of, it's an offcut. So that plastic connector fits in there, and they're all made so it all fits together. The issue with the door profile compared to the rest is all of it is exposed, and so this would be the only place that I could potentially put rivets in to hold it. It's just underneath here. Let me, so if we lift it up, this is the only area where I really could put rivets. But even then I didn't want to do it because I don't think it would look nice. So what I've done is I've used construction adhesive and actually glued it together, and it seems to be sticking even in the heat because it's now I would say well in the 40s inside the van, and the heat doesn't seem to be affecting the glue. So that's the profile on that. Here's an example of again a finished one. I'm going to use this one rather than that. What happens on it is, if you look at the profile, on the front here is a groove. That's where the colored laminate fits in, and then so I've used this flat part to glue that laminate in, and then at the back of it is another groove which is a plain laminate, not a colored, and that's the back of the door. In between the two, in between these two sheets of laminate is about 10 millimeters of space, and so what we've done is filled that with a styrofoam board so that it gives a bit more rigidity to the door. It also supports the two pieces of laminate so that if they do get pressed for some reason, there is backing to it. And I also then glue the laminate onto that styrofoam, so it all holds it together. This is reasonably light compared to a piece of wood, a door frame, or a door frame made out of wood, and that would be significantly more weight than this, or would need to be very thin. So that's all done, and then just showing you the This is another finished door. It's the one above the kitchen. So in here we've got the gas strut. I've used, what are these? These are 20 Newton gas struts, so in effect they're holding up 2 kilograms. This is very light, and even now you will see when I close it, the pressure of that gas strut there is slightly deforming the door in the cupboard. It's pushing it up. So if I used anything stronger than that, and you can see it holds it up fine, so it's not an issue there. If I used anything stronger, it would deform the door even more. Also on this, I have these latches in place on this door, which I haven't got on the others yet. So it closes and you press the latch in and it's nice and smooth, and the door is then closed for traveling. Pull it open and it gives you a bit to pull on, and open the door. And I think that's about it for the cupboards. We've got,
and then
these.
we were talking about shelves in the video. So we got these from Kelsey and Dan for Christmas, which work very nicely. They fit in perfectly in the bottom, but we will probably still need a shelf along here so we can still put something else. Unfortunately, this doesn't stack well here because this thing already
sticks out.
So we can put them in a row. I think we can fit 3 or 4 maybe, but we still need something for the top. But we are making progress with that as well.
Those shelves are a secondary thing, and we will see if they happen.
Well,
they're a nice to have.
Eventually.
Yeah,
and if
depending
you
on
have a
time.
look over here, we still need to finish 2 more cupboards, which are actually nearly done.
Two more cupboards here and the control panel for the van. The frames of all that have been done. I've made the backing to fit in here. We then got involved in the move, and so everything went on to hold.
And the problem is John actually does work as well for a living, and that is taking time as well. Unfortunately, he's not fully retired like I am, but I can't do all of this kind of stuff, so I have to wait for him when he's finished doing his normal work to actually work on the van, which hopefully by next week we'll start doing again. But because of all of this, our trip has been delayed even more, but that's okay because nothing's opened up yet and we're not in a major rush. So we are just carrying on living as we can and working as hard as possible. And that's it from us. Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Enjoy the video. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please ask your friends to subscribe. Please encourage people to support us in the video. Ring the doorbell. Okay.
So when John asked me to brush the cupboard, I was about to go get a brush to brush it out, but he actually meant to put in this fluffy stuff,
Which is a brush.
into the groove of this cupboard door. And what is it supposed to do? Just
One is it dampens it when it's closes down, and it will keep some of the dust out. The brush would normally be put in before we finished assembling the door, but because we didn't have it at the time and we weren't quite sure what we were doing, we went ahead and constructed it in the meantime. now that I've made one cupboard skeleton, I'm knocking out another two. So this is part of the one frame, and I'll now put the second one together. There are still parts which I need to make, so I can't do the full yet. I ran out of time and light last time, and as you can see, because it's getting into winter, it's getting dark earlier, and so I'm working with a floodlight tonight. Okay, well, let me give it a name. So,
No,
this
so.
is, you can cut that out. This is the frame which I've made for the cupboards. It'll fit up like that, more or less, with a side on here, and then we'll put a shelf in it and the door on the front. The issue then is the back. Now, because of the unevenness of this, what I've decided to do is to put polyethylene sheeting there. So we're going to put that up now. Let's see how that goes. So it doesn't have to go all the way around because the top of the cupboard has got a sheet on it, so we don't have to cover that. What's going to happen is this will go.
You need to hold it?
Not yet. So I think that's about what I'm going to actually do is rivet this onto the upright straps, and then we'll use the frame of the cupboard to actually hold it in place. And then okay, so if you can hold that there, try not to let it move. we're going to put a shelf in here.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. The shelf ideally should be that height,
Well,
or double that height. Because if you put it exactly in the middle, that you're going to have that
And then you've got
and
that.
a wasted space.
I promise you have my mother as your wife. It will not be wasted. She'll find something to stuff.
Yeah, and that's my concern exactly, is the stuffing.
I think it's better to have two and then a
But the
smaller one.
thing is this is too long.
That's too long. It's not
Yeah.
gonna fit in there.
And you're going to have I honestly, because this goes like this,
Yeah.
have the size of one
Yeah.
shelf thing. So you can have a long but skinny. I think you're more likely to find a thing like that, you get me,
Yes. Yeah.
than
Well, if you
Like-
have there,
but then
Okay,
you only
then
have
you-
that deep.
yes, that's fine. That's a pair of undies rolled up.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the bags.
Well, if you then have two bags of packing stuff and then
And
loose
then the
stuff.
top, at the top. I
At the
think
top.
So. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It
Now I
doesn't
get
all
you.
have to be
Yeah, now I get you.
packing cubes. And I suspect, maybe not even these, maybe those hard ones or whatever.
Something you can pull out.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would pull out is generally 10 to 15 centimeters.
Okay, and what's this?
It's a bit of a pity that this is too big.
I think this is
Anyway.
like 45.
Yeah.
So good.
So 30 and 15.
Yeah.
Or right now, do 30 and 15. You can get if you get hard ones, you fill it and you can put it. You can put another one on top of, like pile them,
Yeah, yeah,
and then to have the smaller ones up there.
yeah.
If you go to like Daiso, they have
They've got those
a
basket things.
hard one,
Yeah.
and then they'll have a shorter one and a smaller one. You get like the set.
Oh.
That one fits into that one. That one fits into that one. So you get one, and they'll all be the same height.
Yeah, okay. So that's Mom's problem. My issue is the shelf. So I'll put
So
the
how?
shelf
Wait,
at
but how thick
30.
is how thick is the shelf?
Well, very thin with a ridge on top or below it. It's this same material. Okay, so the shelf will be the same as this, but up there. So you'll have most probably put the ridge on the top because it catches stuff from moving out. But it's 2.5, I think. Yeah, centimetre there.
Would it not be better to first go and look at Daiso or whatever
If
it
it
is?
go to Daiso
and
and
see.
get a set of 3,
Mm.
stack them on top of each other. If that equals 45, 43.
Yeah, 42.
Yeah, 40 to 43.
Because we've also got hinges up here
Yeah.
Okay,
for the door,
40.
like that.
Make it 40 then. If all of that, because you want wiggle room
Yes.
to pull it out as well. Put them on top of each other. If it equals 40, then you can put it.
Yeah,
I
At
think
30.
before you put a shelf in, we need to
Okay.
go look.
yeah.
Yes!
You want to go and buy
Excitement.
more plastic.
Yeah, I love plastic.
But that'll be because you get the ones with the lids. If you can find the one with a lid,
Then you can put the next
then you can
one
put the
on
next one on top without it
Mm.
wobbling.
top. Yeah.
The top one doesn't need a lid. Or you can have
no.
one if you want,
Yeah, but
but
the thing is, this is basically the lid.
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I
Well,
think that's-
the problem with the lid, and Mom using it, the lid will never close.
No, we'll make sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. You'll sit on it.
Then the other questions,
And
how
also
many
how
boxes
you can
because
fit.
the thing is, you might fit 3, but then the ones on top, like you have to be careful if you get lids which will go like in, so that the next one sits
On
in
top
it.
of it,
Yeah.
So you have to see, okay, do I want, because the ones on top will be smaller.
Yes. Yeah.
So are you willing to have things
That's
to
it.
have a sit, or do you want flat? And then you might have to buy.
I mean, if you get 3 to fit in there, then I don't need to put a shelf in.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah.
If they're hard boxes. If they're soft, then the
I
shelf.
think hard boxes are
Like,
better actually. Because
if-
this is
If
I don't know.
if you can find hard boxes where the smaller boxes are the same width but a shorter depth,
Yeah.
that'll be best, because then
Ideal.
you can get the same.
Same
You can get
amount,
say
yeah.
3. You don't have to get 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want 3, 4, and 5 for
Yeah.
sorting things out, but I doubt you would need 5 little things. You're most likely to use
There's
3
less little things and more big things. Yeah.
because it'll, you know, you can fit something sideways if it doesn't fit lengthways.
Okay. So when are we going shopping? Mr. Wilson, tell us what's happening.
I'll put this cupboard up. We've adjusted it so that over here there's a gap, and we're going to then have a similar gap over here. That's because the roof up top is not straight horizontally. It might be straight this way, but it's not that way. So these 2 cupboards are now in. I'm busy working on this one. Because we've put this gap, these 2 gaps in, it now doesn't fit properly at the end here. So it means there's going to be a bit of a gap behind, but we'll have to live with that. So what I'm busy doing now is trying to put this bolt through here to join these 2 cupboards, and that hole is not quite right, so I've just got to enlarge it.
You're going to look what?
Lazy.
Lazy, yes, yeah, but we now have Liam to take over for you, so we still have...
We're actually waiting for you. And the drill.
Oh, all right. So we're having a long weekend, so it's really nice to have my children here. We have Dan and Kelsey. Kelsey's got very important submissions to submit her finals for the semester, so she's very busy. Liam's come to visit us today, so hopefully a lot of work will be done on the van today. But it's just a beautiful day. It's winter finally, so the temperature I think is about 28, so finally we can work through the whole day.
We're going to put 2 spaces in here, so that'll make it 6 millimeters apart. I don't think that washer will fit, so I'm going to have to cut some of the washer off. So it's about 3/4 of the way. You know you're wearing a white t-shirt.
Yeah. I'm getting pro at wearing a white t-shirt, not getting dirty.
Is that good now? Let's see.
Inspector has to inspect quality control. You see.
The question is, how much does it move?
Does it rattle?
No, not rattle. It won't rattle because slight movement there. Now, here, there's no movement. So I'm not convinced necessarily that it's not too big.
I mean, not too big.
If you look at this,
Yeah.
there's a gap there,
Yeah.
there's a gap there, and there's a
Yeah,
gap
there was
there.
always a gap like that.
No, there shouldn't be.
Remember there was, because that was the bad, that was...
But there's a gap here as well. So because of that gap, I would suggest that this board is slightly too big. Okay? Because I understand these gaps there, but that one then should meet.
Yeah.
And
Okay, yeah, also down
There,
there.
that's meeting.
Down there.
But in doing that, look, this is pushed out.
Yeah, and here too.
Okay.
Okay, so it's
So-
a slight
Yeah.
trim.
Yeah, so it's literally 1 or 2 millimeters off. The way I normally test it is if I can move the board slightly inside, then
Yeah.
it's okay.
Okay.
Because we're going to glue it anyway,
Yeah.
so that movement doesn't matter. But by having that movement means that you're not putting pressure on the frame
Yeah, so it's just the length way, it's not the width.
that way. This way? No, it's the same this way. Can't move it there.
Yeah.
So there's pressure there as well.
Well, that's the. What?
There's along this way and this way, there's pressure.
Oh, okay.
So if I'd trim two sides.
Okay.
Since this is chipped, trim that side.
Yeah.
As far as the chipping goes, it doesn't matter because it's on the inside.
Yeah.
It's here that it does matter.
Yeah. So, do you think I should then use the saw for trimming it like that?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Yeah, that one was just at the when I measured it, it was like at an angle
Okay.
cut. So that's why I used jigsaw, because I know if I use the straight saw, it's harder.
How's this going?
Getting there.
Did Leo finish all the backs yesterday?
Except for one.
Oh, okay.
This needs a trim for that glass. But I made it slightly bigger because those are slightly bigger and I want a straight cut all the way.
Oh, okay.
So this needs a millimeter off it. But I'll wait for the circular saw for that. We've now cut out all the bits for the next 3 cupboard doors. So now I've got to glue them all together. And it's so long since I last glued the last one together, I can't remember where I glued. So this is going to be a wing it job. Not that the rest of the van isn't a wing it job. Finish, but there's enough here for me to want to carry on using it.